What is going on, chat? Today we are reacting to why the 96 Chicago Bulls were the GOATs, and it's told by NBA legends. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm slowly turning into a Jordan fan, thanks to you guys. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. I never thought in my life I would be a Jordan fan. I'll be completely honest with you. I've always been a LeBron fan since a little kid, since I've been born. So, throughout this journey, I appreciate you guys all subscribing to me and recommend me videos to react to. But today we're reacting to something highly anticipated. So, let's get straight into the video.
Lead, and Pippen held the game in his hands.
We got two shots.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. Now, it is about time to have the largest and longest NBA legends talking about the 1996 Chicago Bulls video of all time. And
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know anything about the 96 Bulls. Didn't they go 72-10 though? That's all I know. But I'm taking the Warriors over them. I'll be honest. But this video might change my mind.
I found some new clips, which is pretty cool. So clips you hopefully haven't seen before, some classic clips, obviously, and of course you also get my personal opinion. But before we start with this, let me ask you guys for a small favor. If you're new to the show, subscribe to the channel. If you watch my show on a regular basis and you still haven't subscribed, come on, man, support this channel. All right, you guys, let's get right into it. Take a look at is from Byron Scott on his new podcast, which I really can recommend, talking to one of my favorite comedians, Aries Spears. Let's have a look.
I got another question for you. And this is another one where I wage war.
Yes, sir.
The Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant against the 72-10 Bulls. Who wins that series? And before you answer, I'm going to
Warriors.
tell you this. Honestly, and I'm being nice, I give the Warriors a game. I think it's a sweep, but I give them a game.
No, I give them two.
But you, okay.
But I'm going with the Bulls.
Okay.
I give them two. Because you look around at that Chicago Bull team and you look at that Golden State team, and, you know, this is always the question. Oh, who going to guard Steph? Who going to guard Clay? Who going to guard? Okay, you do know they had three of the best defenders of all time.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, in Michael Jordan,
Scottie Pippen, Ron Harper,
Dennis Rodman, and Ron Harper.
Yeah, he did kind of get me on that. I forgot they got Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Jordan. I forgot Jordan was a crazy defender. We reacted to a Jordan defensive video on my channel if you guys want to tune in.
So they gonna guard the shit out of them.
But here's what the the fans, the people that ain't never played will say. Man, who stopping Steph with the threes and Clay with the threes?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I'm gonna say Rod or MJ is guarding Steph.
Right.
Rod or MJ is guarding Clay.
Right.
Kevin Durant, Scottie Pippen got you.
Now he's not stopping a Kevin Durant.
He's not stopping him, but he gonna make it hard.
He gonna give
He gonna
Kevin,
make it
KD,
hard.
the migraine
he gonna make
in
it
Detroit.
because again, Scotty 6'7", 6'8",
Right.
long.
Right.
Kevin 6'11", really.
Right.
He ain't gonna stop him, but he gonna be right there
Kevin about 7 foot, bro. I don't think anyone's stopping that guy.
on every shot.
Okay.
And he gonna be in his ass to make him put it on the floor. He not gonna give him open shots.
And Dennis Rodman will literally be in Draymond's ass.
Oh yeah.
Literally, actually be in it.
Again, that's a carbon copy.
Right.
You know, those are two.
Right.
You got two great defenders.
Yes.
Draymond's a great defender.
Right.
Draymond handles the ball and initiates offense. Obviously, that's not Dennis's forte. But rebounding and defending, Chicago beats them in 5-6.
And then I would throw in, and tell me if I'm wrong, but you got two 7-footers who can shoot from the perimeter, and Longley and Whittington.
Yeah.
And then you still got to almost worry about Steve Kerr with the threes. And
No,
Bush.
you don't almost have to. You have to.
Okay.
Steve
Okay.
Kerr to this day has the best percentage all time in NBA history from three.
When you look at the 95-96 team and you look at winning and 72-10, I don't think people really realize that everybody on that team understood their role. They embraced their role, and they were a star in their role. And then that, we couldn't have won if that wasn't the case. Obviously, we had the best player that ever played the game, but everybody has to understand their role. And I think the second thing people don't realize,
it really does depend on how consistent Scottie Pippen is too, because Klay Thompson is very consistent. I want to say right now, but back then Klay was consistent. So I don't know. Is was Scottie Pippen like consistent every night, or he never really ever had bad games? Let me know down below.
is back then it was harder to get information out of the inside of what we had going on. So I remember when MJ came back, he had been practicing with us for a while, and nobody knew. We kept that under wraps. Obviously, with social media and everything now, it's hard to do that. But
Crazy with social media now.
I think those are the two things that I don't think people really realize.
Dennis was new that year. He had lost Horace Grant in his rebounding and his defense at that power forward spot. So Dennis fit that bill perfectly, and really above and beyond for what Dennis did.
When the lights turn on, he gave everything he had.
There is the athleticism of Dennis Rodman.
Doesn't give up on the ball.
Now with the second clip, you will see Aris Spears again. And yeah, I mean, he's a hardcore Chicago Bulls fan, and he always has some good points. Now talking to Gilbert Arenas. Let's have a look.
Who would win between the 72-10 Bulls and the Warriors with KD? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I give the Warriors maybe 2 games. Ooh. Maybe.
So what you really have...
And I don't give a damn about the eras.
No. Okay, so when it comes to styles, you have a defensive team.
Four to five starters.
You're talking about
premier defenders.
You're talking about just straight premier defenders, and they're all at the same position.
2 3-point assassins.
And then you have all guard play on the. But you have Michael Jordan.
You got Scottie.
You have Michael. They have a KD.
The thing is, right, I feel like it's the same both ways. Who's going to really guard Kevin Durant, Steph Curry? I just think no one can guard Jordan. I feel like on the Bulls, no one can guard Jordan at all. But everyone else is easily guardable. Do you guys think that? Let me know down below. I feel like, I don't know.
Scottie's on KD. He ain't stopping KD, but it's going to be a tough day at work.
So Mike on Steph? Who's stopping Steph?
Ron Harper's going to be a problem.
You're going to pick
Mike on Clay?
Michael's destroying Clay.
Yeah, it's going to be. But you got to remember, it's because that was the.
But then Clay's a good defender too. That's the thing. You can't take the defense away from Clay because Clay can play defense. I don't know if he could play defense on Jordan, but he could play defense though.
Team that was a small ball team that nobody actually paid attention to.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a perfect matchup. But you know when you're talking about somebody like Jordan coming through the lane, like he's gonna average 40 something that series because there's no one that can physically stop him.
And if you are talking about today's rules, yeah, he's gonna average 40, maybe more.
What's so funny is no matter the thing is it's gonna be KD and Jordan.
Ron Harper stepped up. Tony Kukoc really developed in the previous 2 years. Really, that team really meshed so well as a team. And that was one of Phil's philosophies, that the wholeness and the balance of everything has to be together. And I think that's one of the best teams where truly, I think everyone liked everyone and wanted to be around everyone all the time. Phil would break us up every now and then and pin those two guys against each other because they're really the only ones who could push each other to the limits. But everyone else had to fight to keep up with them.
I genuinely have a question now. You know, since I admitted that Jordan is the basketball GOAT, how come Scottie Pippen, Jordan's right-handed man, his sidekick, is saying LeBron's better than Jordan? That is really genuinely, I'm very curious upon that because I just seen a clip about that. Let me know down below. Is he hating?
Every night you step on the floor, teams were really gunning for you. In warm-ups, you could tell sometimes where teams just, before the game started, kind of succumb to, wow, we don't have a chance. And other teams, we could see guys really roughing it up, getting ready, and like, okay, we're gonna have a little battle tonight.
Ruffin has it blocked by Longley. Oh, what a play to Pippen. Salley, yes, Jordan.
It seemed like nothing went wrong that whole year.
We won a lot of games because of the closeness. Nothing rattled us.
We were more polished from the neck up.
We thought the game out a little bit more. We read each other more. We communicated better on the court. We had a great group of guys in terms of our bench, guys that, were professionals in terms of taking care of their bodies and being ready for the back-to-backs.
The 72-10 season was absolutely incredible, and how dedicated the team and coaching staff were, not necessarily to achieve that record, but to make sure that they were ready to win another championship.
The Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96.
I understand how dominant this team was, but I have another question. You know how the Warriors were winning every single year and everyone knew that they were just gonna win because they had the nicest team in the NBA? Was that how the Bulls worked? Like everyone just knew they were gonna win regardless. Is that how it was? Let me know down below.
NBA championship, 4 in 6 years, as they defeat the Sonics 87-75.
Was it the NBA versus Michael Jordan? I kind of felt that watching The Last Dance. Like it was like no one really believed they could beat Michael Jordan's Bulls, but it was like, man, it was like the whole they tried their best, especially the second one after the Rockets. It seemed like
everybody was trying, man. But it was just he was too good. The system that they had, their triangle offense was too good. Scotty was too good, and you could beat him on, like if you catch him on an off night, you could beat him. But no team could beat them in a 7-game series.
Wow.
Because they'll eventually figure you out, like great fighters do. They'll eventually figure you out, and they'll go towards your weakness and beat you. And it never failed, man. The one thing that teams cannot do when you go to play the Chicago Bulls is you can't suffer the Mike Tyson effect. Mike, how Mike used to have to do before they even got to the ring? That's the way the Bulls, that's what it was like for a lot of guys playing the Bulls.
Scottie Pippen walking into the arena the other day runs into Paul Pabst from Dan Patrick's show. Yeah. Paul asks him, if your team from 96 played these Warriors, what would happen? And Scottie said, we would sweep them. The 96 Bulls would sweep the Warriors. Charles, what do you think?
I disagree with Scottie. I think the Warriors would win one game.
One game.
But
everyone is doubting the Warriors. What? Are you telling me the Bulls were that unstoppable?
I do. I think they would, because you got the three, probably arguably the three most athletic players to ever play in the NBA. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. They would have a field day against a small, no disrespect, the Warriors are terrific. Steph Curry is terrific. Klay Thompson, they're amazing. Draymond's a hell of a player. But Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan in a free-flowing game, no hand checking, they would be even better than they were in 96. Michael Jordan playing by the day's rules, he's at a serious advantage. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen can guard Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But they have nobody can keep Dennis Rodman off the boards. And he can guard Draymond, he can guard Iguodala. So listen, this team here is a great little team, but the Bulls would, I disagree with Scottie. Those Warriors would win a game.
Now the next clip that we're going to take a look at is actually from one of the most underrated defenders of his era, John Spider Salley. Obviously, he played for the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, but also for the Chicago Bulls. Let's hear what he has to say.
You joined the Bulls early that season in March. What do you remember the most about that stretch run at the end of the regular season when the team was trying to break the record?
I remember when you walked in and Tex was trying to show me the offense, and I pulled out my the video tapes. I had VHS tapes of the triangle that we had in Detroit. And he was looking at it, goes, "This is how you guys played us?" I go, "Yeah." So I kind of got an idea of it, and I just kept wanting to learn it. But it was, we win here. We walked in the game, it was like 50% chance you already won. When you walk with Michael, it's 110 chance you're going to win. The other guys are thinking, I'm not going to.
This is exactly how people got into games thinking, what? I've never heard this type of stuff.
Get embarrassed. I hope he doesn't dunk on me. Like they were in fear playing us. And that was the most amazing thing.
All right, so John, we know the Warriors eclipsed the record with 73 wins in 2016, but they didn't win it all that year. Your team, you did. The wins record was great, but how important was it to finish 96 and that record with the championship?
That's exactly how Phil put it. Phil said all of this work and all the things we're doing, you don't get this far. When the playoffs started, it was going into another season.
Listen, and people like, even when you try to make a fair, honest comparison, people think you're hating. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper would be better today. They would be better players today, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, Scottie.
I'm genuinely like, why do people say they're gonna be better today? Is it because the rules are soft? Is that like, is the NBA soft now?
Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, they would be better. There's no hand checking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc.
I'm just saying that there's no. That tweet's out fast. So, you forgot Ron Harper on that list.
No, Ron Harper was he'd be great defensively. Ron Harper was a hell of a player.
I know, but you're going to rattle those guys off. Do it again. Do it again.
I think I could handle Durant there. I would give Jordan the edge in his category. I think me and KD will probably be a wash.
Really?
6'11", the guy shoots the ball from all over the court.
You were okay on defense, I remember.
I mean, that's why I say it was a wash. I think we could kind of watch each other play out. Michael could probably take over Clay. But
probably.
In terms of Steph and Ron Harper, I may give Steph
y'all had three guys that can guard Kevin. I mean, Dennis.
I like Scottie Pippen. He's really nice and genuine. Like, he's not really just talking. You know, he could have really just talked a lot of trash right here and say he automatically is going to win. But he was like, you know, Kevin Durant, like, he's giving them, like, I just like his kind of spirit, man. He's respectful.
Yeah.
Wasn't a slouch on defense. Michael could guard him. You could guard him.
I also think that we had a very strong bench. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. We had good shooters in our bigs, Bill Winnington. We had a pretty good team. I feel good about my team. It's hard to say how we would match up with today's players.
Historically? Yeah. If you take any of the great teams, you're matching them up with the 17 Warriors. Who's the team that you're like, oh, shit, they would be a problem? Because I would say the 86 Celtics, but I'm biased.
Yeah, and I'm biased, so I'm going to say the 96 Bulls. And yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, when I look back at that Bulls team, that team was actually built to play today. Now, minus the volume of three-point shooting, but I think that team was capable of it. But when you're talking about the versatility that you need to defend today, if you throw out onto the court Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, and Dennis Rodman, that's a 2020 defense. Right. That team, those five guys can guard anybody, and then offensively, you know, nobody ever could guard Michael Jordan then. You can only imagine now with the spacing and the rules, and Kukoc was unbelievable. He was way better than people really remember him for.
Golden State Warriors were in the era of the Chicago Bulls. They would just reconstruct their big guys. They would have a guy like Rick Mahorn on their team, and then they would be able to play that way. But if you put Rick Mahorn in this era, he wouldn't be able to guard Draymond Green because he wouldn't be able to come out and guard him. But in that era, they would just have to change personnel slightly and then still be as good. If you add guys like, no disrespect, but if you add guys like, if you give Steph Curry and Klay Thompson the same big men that Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars had, they could do the same thing in that era. But they would need James Edwards. So you would just change the personnel. It wouldn't change the way they win.
Okay, I kind of get what he's saying. If that makes sense. If you guys don't get it, let me know, because it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't.
You missed one point. The defense was, constructed a little different.
No, that's why you got to change personnel.
No, but I'm saying back then you was able to hand check.
Right, so you just change personnel a little bit.
They'd be good, but they're not going to win.
But if you took the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah would still be Isaiah, without question. But Rick Mahorn couldn't guard Draymond Green in this era. He couldn't guard him in this era.
No, he couldn't. But we're not comparing him to this era. We're talking about
the Chicago But Bulls. You can't take that team because they're constructed under the rules that are here. So they're saying, okay, under these rules, can you bring those teams here?
Actually, listen, people like, even when you try to make a fair, honest comparison, people think you're hating. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper would be better today. They would be better players today, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, they would be better. There's no hand checking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc.
I'm just saying.
Those are going to be two premier players because they don't have a 7-footer that's going to be able to keep up with him. No matter if you put Pippen on him or Jordan, or what's name, he's still going to be able to pull up on anybody. So it's those two, and then Jordan is going to carry because no one is physical.
You don't think that from a
you give him 2 games, I'll give him 1, maybe 2. Like
I wanted to say sweep.
Yeah, that's what I said. Depending on how mad Michael is.
Okay.
But you got to remember, you still got KD is just.
We forgot how mad Michael Jordan gets. Oh my God! When Michael Jordan is mad, it's like he unlocks some unstoppable force where you can't even win the game. I just learned that in my last video. Bro's confidence off the roof. If you guys want to watch, you guys can.
It's a different beast.
Okay.
So he can carry the team. He can carry a team because you really he's gonna put Pippen in foul trouble. He'll put those guys in foul trouble, but there's nobody stopping Michael from getting to the basket.
Okay, this might be my old man.
But I don't think Golden State wins this series now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This might be my old man shit, but I don't really think the Warriors beat any of those teams. Bird, Celtics, Shaq, Kobe, Lakers,
they whooping them
Pistons.
Come on, bruh. Now you tripping. We not beating the Warriors are not beating the Celtics. I don't know. I think they can, man.
The bad boys.
You know, I said it countless times on my show, watching the Chicago Bulls in 1996, especially as a teenager, it was the greatest thing basketball-wise that I had ever seen. And I'm not talking about how beautiful it was, but just what a privilege it was to watch every single game really enjoying yourself, really realizing even as a kid that you're watching something special. I started to become an NBA fan in the early 90s, so I'm talking 1992. So the 1996 season, I was already understanding the game. I was already playing for 6 years myself, and I noticed what I'm seeing is basketball history. It was poetry in motion, and it was the greatest time to be alive watching NBA basketball, and that's why I'm always grateful to that team.
Tony understood,
Man, I do wish that I was around watching these games. I'm Gen Z, so I really never known any of this stuff.
Michael came back that this was Michael's team.
It started immediately after we lost to Orlando.
Very disappointed. I think, my intentions coming back here was, to have a chance. I felt we had a chance to win it all and just try to get it all out of the system and start over.
Michael basically said, I'm taking 7 days off and I'm getting ready for the next season. Not the warning to everybody else, but it was a sign, okay, I want you all to be ready for the next year because next year can be special.
My first season was the 95-96 season, and it ended with Tony hoisting the 6th Man of the Year trophy. So by that time, I think it was pretty apparent that the guy could play.
Tony driving to the lane. Nicely done.
Early on in that next season, that Michael bought into what Tony could do and understood that, that's another weapon.
Good coach on the move to Jordan. His feet, the door is going, and yes!
I didn't think Tony saw Michael streak him.
He was the man in Europe. Now he's one of the men.
Kukoc drives in, double pump, puts it in. Fade away, top jumper from Tony.
How good was Tony Kukoc? Can you guys let me know down below? I'm not too familiar with his game.
I think Michael and Scottie considered him not just a teammate, but a valuable teammate.
Pippen on the spin.
Nice. Tony staying all the way on the outside. Tony, what do you got? Another 3? Do you? Yes! 34, and that's a career high for Tony.
Standing ovation for the Bulls, trying to win their 44th in a row at home.
I always said that those teams, especially the second three-peat, but the first one too, you knew as a broadcaster you were going to see something that night that you had never seen before.
Tony denied that little interior. Beautiful beyond the middle feed. Jason Taylor. Oh, man. There is our play of the game.
Hey.
What elevation. The Chicago Bulls are the first team in NBA history to win 70 games in a single season.
Right now, good shot. Give the ball right now to Tony.
Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96 NBA championship. Make it 4 in 6 years.
Chicago Bulls su najbolji na svijetu. I pobjedili smo i number one. Ovako reci, number one. Ovdje Barbie. Number one. Tako je, number one. Ring is going back to Croatia.
The first reason was the team chemistry on the Chicago Bulls. Now, if you watch the Last Dance documentary, then you know that the 1996 Bulls also had their scuffles and sometimes in practice also had their incidents. Still, this is something which is totally normal in team sport. But all in all, this team was on a mission.
Yeah, that's actually a big question of mine also. They had like a couple of trouble in the locker room and all that. Like, you know, they had a couple of fights and everything, but they never broke apart the team. Like, if this was to happen now, that's just over with. Like, that's team's not a team. You're suspended. Now, back then, it's like they got over like men. Hey, respect.
And on the court, you could really see that they had chemistry. The result was beautiful team basketball from player 1 to player 12. This team was also blessed with many great passers, if it was a Scottie Pippen or even a Luke Longley. Players with great court vision, they were perfectly suited for the triangle offense. But this is only one of the reasons why the 1996 Chicago Bulls were so great.
Dennis Rodman brought a critical piece to the puzzle, as the Bulls now boasted the game's most formidable trio. Carving out a vital presence, Rodman epitomized the meaning of team player.
You got it, Dennis. You got it. That's enough, man. That's enough.
But what's unique about this team is that in years past, teams generally have had to take some time to gel as a group. And this year you've added Michael back to the mix, Dennis Rodman as a starter, and they came together so quickly.
And the next reason was the determination of Michael Jordan. Now, we all know that MJ was a highly competitive player, probably the craziest we have ever seen. But in the 1996 season, even Michael Jordan reached a new level of determination. But why was that? Well, one season prior, he got embarrassed by the Orlando Magic in the playoffs, and this made Jordan work harder than ever before. And the result was that MJ came back in the shape of his life, and to me, he was really in his prime in that year.
Genuinely, with Jordan doing stuff like this, it's genuinely amazing. Like, I've never seen no type of confidence. As a LeBron fan, I've never seen this before. Never.
Spinning his way against Anderson. The Magic go on. 6 and 2/10 seconds to go. Michael Jordan having a very difficult time.
Well, I think it was all a challenge for the whole team. I mean, we all knew that it was a little bit of a failure from last season. Michael coming back, being his greatest player as he was at that time, he just wasn't up to par. He wasn't ready for a game situation. Looking back at that, I think Michael had a lot more to want to win over than anybody, because everybody remembered your last game, and he prepared himself the next season to go out and, you know, for us to dismantle the whole league.
From North Carolina.
That was the year that he went out and filmed his Space Jam commercial. He had this big facility set up in California where he was working out every day. So anytime you hear that about Michael, that he's training, then you know he's not just training.
It's just amazing how easily dominating. This like everything that he does is just so easy for him, and the way he like helps his team out is just amazing. Genuinely, bro. Look at this. Like everything be easy for him. It's like it's not fair. Like I know the other teams were scared. I know they were scared.
And the next reason that I have on my list is defense. So this one right here is probably the one that gets mostly overlooked. But again, this could also easily be the biggest difference maker to all the other teams that are in the GOAT conversation. The Bulls had the best defensive team of all time. They were as good as the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, but without the brutality. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman are 3 of the top 10 best defenders of all time. But then you add guys like Ron Harper, who was one of the best guard defenders of his era, plus the John Spider Salley and James Edwards of the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, and all the other guys were pretty solid too. The Bulls would only allow 92 points per game, which was pretty great if you take into consideration what a fast pace this team plays.
From there, familiar positions.
Rodman trying to get it back, could not. And here is pressure rejected by Hart.
Back Cassell feeding Robert Horry and blocked by Dennis Rodman. What a
wide open. Horry was going to stuff it. Rodman comes in.
Williams. Look to Smith in the baseline. And the block by Pippen from in here. Nice play as Michael Smith goes. And then Luke on defense. Watch this erasure here.
Pulls up and shoots anyway, an air ball. The loose ball picked up by Curry.
Just watch Wennington, who lost it, and here comes Barrows. Pippen on the block. Comes from the back. He makes the block, but there's nobody there to help to pick up the ball. So Fox. Okay. See if we can pick this up. Comes Scotty from behind. He's trying to block the shot. 5 to go on the shot clock. Thorpe all over Rodman.
Down here, Tony Smith goes on in, and Michael comes from the back and blocks it to the left
tonight. Absolutely. Due to a groin injury. What's the movement here? Watch it. Hardaway, the lead.
And the next reason is the growth of Scottie Pippen. When Michael Jordan had retired a few years prior to 1996, Scottie Pippen suddenly was the main guy on the Bulls team. And this was the best thing that could have ever happened to him in order to grow as a basketball player. He now had the responsibility to carry the team every single night, and he did it in a spectacular way, almost winning the MVP award that year. Now when Michael Jordan came,
Scottie Pippen almost won MVP? Why haven't I ever known that?
Back, Scottie Pippen was even more of a leader and was able to carry the team when Michael Jordan needed a break. You could see that Scottie had a different kind of confidence and was now a true NBA superstar. And coming in with the next reason, the incredible Chicago Bulls bench. As an old school fan, you probably noticed a team is only as good as its bench. And the Chicago Bulls had a great bench in 1996. Steve Kerr, for example, who was percentage-wise the best three-point shooter of all time, he was the perfect addition to the team because once he was open, you knew he would make the three-pointer. Then, as I already mentioned earlier, you had John Spider Salley, who was a great all-around defender. Then you had role players like Randy Brown, Judd Bushla, Bill Wennington, and of course the best sixth man of that year, Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc would have been a superstar on any other team. I mean, this guy came off the bench, but he was a player who could score, who could handle the ball, who could pass, who could shoot from anywhere, so this guy was a solid player. And not to mention, this guy was clutch as hell.
And in his first season, he proved he was ready for playoff pressure.
Kukoc for the win.
He went on to play a key role in 3 Chicago championships in 1996 through 98, while picking up a 6th Man of the Year award along the way.
We don't win without Tony. No one sacrificed more than what Tony Kukoc did. Coming off the bench, he accepted it and he embraced it. One of the best international players to ever come and play in America. His success speaks for that. He's one of the greatest to ever do it.
You know, I wanted to give you guys 7 reasons, but I would have so many more. The durability of that roster, so many guys playing heavy minutes and being able to play 82 games. Then the basketball IQ on this team. The defensive flexibility. You had multiple guys who could guard position 1, 2, 3. The triangle offense and so on. But now let's hear what some of the guys have to say that actually played in this era, and also some of the media guys who were around in those days.
In that game, I mean, who'd you want? First of all, who'd you want to guard? You got Durant locked down, or?
Well, you know what? She said no. So no.
Chat, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I never knew a team impacted NBA history as much as the 96 Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls is bro, I don't know. This really changed my perspective on a lot of things, genuinely. And it really made me think the Warriors versus the Chicago Bulls. Like, I really want to deep dive into that. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. But, this is the end of the video, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and, recommend me some more stuff to react to. But other than that, tune into the Twitch. It's always in my description. But other than that, I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.